quick way of cutting round a power socket, which is here on the wall. Now, I always loosen off light switches away from the wall. Power sockets, I don't. You can do. You can either get the customer to turn off all the power in the house, so your socket, or the power to your room, the power to the area of the house you're in. Turn those off so you can loosen it without risk of electric shock. I think it's something like 220, 240 volts go through these sockets. That's a lot of electricity. You're using wet paper, wet with paste. You've got damp hands, you're using a wet cloth. It's not the greatest mix with electric. So I tend, well, pretty much always cut around the power sockets. Always tuck in behind the light switches, but cut around power sockets. And as I said, for two reasons. One, there's a lot of electricity going through these. Number two, they're always very low. They're normally behind furniture. They're low to the ground, not easy to see. And if you do it properly, there's absolutely no problem at all cutting around a power socket. So what I do is get the paper in place. There's my socket behind. Just push the corners down. You can't push around the whole thing. So you've got an imprint of the socket on your paper. So there it is. You could make little pencil marks in the corners. At the moment, just pushing that against the socket is giving me the indentations. So then pull it away from the wall. There are my indentations. I just push the knife in and make a diagonal cut towards the center. There's my indentation, in and down towards the center. Same with the bottom. Same with the bottom there. Just push the tip of the knife in, puncture the paper, and then just up to the middle. So you've got your 4 cuts. There, so with your hands, again, just gently smooth it around the socket, pushing it in. Then with our blade, smooth the bubbles out, push it in around the socket, and then make our cuts. This has got rounded edges, so I'm just going to bring the knife round. Most sockets have nice square edges. This is an older socket with round edges. I'm just going to bring the knife nice and sharp around down the sides. Just remove the paper. Just take your time, just be gentle. And underneath, just push it up, bring the knife underneath there. Sometimes it's hard to put into words what I'm doing, so you're just watching me do it, so just copy what I do. Take off the excess paper. Switch is off, obviously. Just take off any excess paste, give the socket a clean up while you're doing it. Now that's nice and tight in there. You can't tell the difference, I don't believe, from whether that's behind the socket or up to it. But with switches at eye level, I do loosen them from the wall and tuck the paper in behind. You still have to be careful. I've had plenty of electric shocks when I've pushed paper a little bit too far in and touched live wires. Yeah, nice, neat, tidy job. What you don't ever do is to put your paper over the socket and make your cuts while it's on the socket. I've seen people do that. I've done it myself many years ago. Cut while it's on the socket. When you take it away, I guarantee if you look around the house, somewhere in a house you'll find a socket with 4 score lines on it where it's been wallpapered and someone's done that. I did it with lining paper once in a house on top of chrome sockets. Cost my dad a small arm and a leg to replace them all because the customer spotted it. That was my mistake. I did that a long time ago. Never again. Okay.